Okay. So, hello everyone. We will take our session, surrender. So that is the topic for today. If one of you could confirm that you could see the screen, the PowerPoint.
Yeah, Gaurav, we
We
could
could
see
see.
the screen.
Yeah.
Thank you. So why we are talking about surrender and what it is, what is the difference? This becomes one issue, not challenging, but confusing could be. This is what I have experienced. Let's flip the coin. If we understand this, or at least if we are very clear about this, then it can help us tremendously. So we will look from both the perspective. So first, when we say surrender, surrender means what? And then how to do it. Like any topic, this is the first thing. Understand what it means and how. If you know what it is and how to do, then doing become relatively easier. When we say surrender, the first question comes to our mind is surrender means what? Just leave everything to the universe means, typical example, people say, okay, I'm just sitting, let it happen, whatever has to happen. Why should I do any of my effort? And that becomes a debatable topic or sometime confusion, sometime an argument. Some people feel if it has to happen, then what is the meaning of my effort, my karma, or then people get into prarabdha, people get into, all kind of confusion. So, see, if we keep things simple, then that is the most important thing. And when we keep things simple, we clarify in our mind the most important thing. So, when we are talking about surrender, first thing is we do our part without expectation. That is number one thing. Can we do thing without expectation become the first, you can say a tripping point or a challenge. As a parent, we do something for the child, right? Do we have expectation or we are doing out of our duty? We go to temple. Why are we visiting that place? Am I going there because of fear or there is some challenge in my life? There is some business case in my mind that, oh, I want to choose this career, or I want a promotion, or I want some health issue to be resolved, or I want some financial issue to be resolved. And I'm going there to pray. It's not a question of right, wrong. We are just talking with respect to surrender, what it means. So I'm going to temple, but there could be multiple possibilities that why I'm going to temple. So what is surrender, right? When we talk about these things. So first, no expectation, as we were talking about. Why? The moment we have expectation, there is a business case. Business case in the sense you are applying glue and now you are attached. Surrender is the reverse. So if I want to do certain thing without expectation, I'm doing something for my child, I'm doing something for my colleague, I'm doing something for my neighbor, my relatives, family, friends. How is it possible that I have no expectation? That means we have to see how. But first, let's clarify the topic. In order to understand that I can come to a level where I do not have expectation, we may have to learn or understand some other topics, like for example, soul plan. Why soul plan? Universe is telling us what is important for me in this life. What's important for others has no impact on me. My family members will have their own soul plan. My parents will have some, my spouse, my siblings, my children, they all have individual soul plan. But what is it that impacts me the most is my soul plan. So if things are happening as per my soul plan, that means it is my wish which is coming true. So why I'm complaining? Now we are not getting into soul plan, but important thing here is if we do not know, then we should dig into that topic. If we know, then we should link that with when we talk about surrender. Whenever whatever is happening in my life, if it is because of my soul plan, I understand that, then I know when that learning will be complete, that particular issue in my life will be resolved. So I don't need to be upset. I don't need to be worried. I don't need to be, just going around finding reasons, going places to places. If I know my soul plan and if I can decode it, universe is giving us indications. It's just that whether we are aware how to interpret those indications or not is the key thing. It's again like a coin. Coin has two sides, right? And sometimes you need to know because in order to surrender, you should, if you have understanding of soul plan, it really helps. If you have understanding of soul plan, it helps you to surrender. So it goes both ways. To surrender, you should know soul plan. Once you know soul plan, it helps you to surrender. With soul plan, you have purpose of life. These two topics work together, and hence, we try to understand, okay, what is my purpose of life? Again, that's a topic in itself, which we have taken, but here what we are trying to go over is these two combination gives you a good clarity, which helps you to surrender. Why? And we will see, topics like trust, faith, all those things, where they come from. Over a period of time, there are certain things which when happens, you develop that. It doesn't happen in one shot. But when it comes to surrender, and I'm trying to do whatever I do without expectation, that becomes a challenge. So if I can cut down my expectation, I'm doing certain things, somebody asks me help. Say my colleague asks, hey, can you do this particular thing for me? I'm so busy and all kind of things. And you feel that this person is trying to act smart. He's always like this. He tries to get others do his work or her work or whatever that case may be. Now we are applying our brain, our logic, our everything. Expectation is coming into play. You do something for your sibling, for your neighbor, for example, and then you are thinking, I'm doing this for my neighbor. Maybe later on, I can ask a favor, all those kind of things. Human brain naturally connects these. You don't have to do anything. Our first three chakras immediately bring these business cases. Right or wrong? Well, physical body, nothing is wrong. But when we talk about soul, everything happens for a reason according to your soul plan or purpose of life. So if intentionally we keep working that, okay, I have to cut down my expectation, you will see, masters, it just releases a lot of energy from the first three chakras and immediately you will feel it at your heart, which is your fourth chakra. When we say blissfulness, it's easy to write it in words, but the only time we truly understand only when you feel it. And how do you feel it? Surrender. Get into your sadhana. do certain things, and the moment you do without expectation, the whole meaning and the effort and the realization, the impact, everything changes to the positive side. And then you try, and then when you repeat and repeat, then you know what blissfulness means. We have different kind of, if I may say, addiction, right? Addiction doesn't mean just cigarettes, alcohol, or tobacco and all those things. Whether sugar, salt, what we eat, what we do, our habits, they're all addictions. To overcome that is a challenge. But these topics, the more we work on, will help you to overcome those challenges. Someone is addicted to, I mean, we all do negative thinking more than positive thinking, but then within negative thinking, there will be a particular type or stream. Again, soul plan, purpose of life, everything kicks in. And then I'm always, thinking in those terms. To overcome my thinking, it becomes a challenge. So these things, when we understand and follow, it really helps. So for surrendering, we have to cut down the expectation. Now, working in those lines of no expectation or soul plan or purpose of life, simplest way is find out the person or the event that is troubling you. A person or event that you dislike. Now you know this thing is repeating in my life, or this person is, really has become a pain in my life. So you are not surrendering to that pain or discomfort or the trouble that you are going through. Idea is not that somebody slaps me once and I say, okay, slap me two more times because I have surrendered. That's not the point. The point is you surrender to the understanding that why it is happening to me. Surrendering to the fact that all the souls have a soul plan, purpose of life, and certain things happens with that respect. Surrender does not mean, from the society term, what is legal, what is illegal, what is allowed, what is not allowed, those kind of things. Surrender is to the higher self. Surrender is to your inner self. Surrender is to the way the universe functions. So if we take an example, because sometime when you're going through that suffering or the pain, because physical body says it's a suffering, for soul it's a learning. So there is a switch between physical, our living, day-to-day living, from physical body to the soul living. And that is important for coming to this. Now, certain things, they go hand in hand. That means you start somewhere, it impacts the other topics, and then it's a journey. So it's not like only when I complete one topic completely, I will go to the next, to the next, to the next. They are happening in parallel. However, understanding wise, you may switch from topic to topic. You may understand purpose of life, you may understand soul plan completely, you may go to the next topic, next topic. But the implication or the implementation of these happens parallelly. As you are learning, you are implementing. So suppose if you have a fear of abandonment, abandonment could come from any direction, from your childhood, previous life, this life, whatever you can recall. So you have to look for whatever is opposite to that. So in this case, if it is abandonment, you're talking about attachment. Now, if you have that uh, as your soul plan to overcome abandonment, you think I have gone through abandonment and that's why this pain, suffering, and all that means you have to get to a point where you are attached with someone, right? Whatever the relationship or experience that soul is trying to balance. Certain events may come naturally. Certain event you may be forced, depending on not just your soul plan or purpose of life, but also depending on the age. Like we talk about our physical age, soul also has, you can say, stages. If not age, take it as stages. So if the soul is infant soul, just, entering into human life from animal kingdom, from plant kingdom, when we move on and come to human life, or it may, if not in friend, maybe young. Soul may not be ready to take full on, those heavy emotions and all those things. So it depends your maturity of the soul, what kind of soul you are. And then these things may come differently to different people. Never two people will have identical situation, identical soul plan, purpose of life. And even if the topic is same, say abandonment, the way it is unfolding, the way it has to be resolved will be different for two people because the two stories are never 100% alike. Key point here is universe is trying. It's like a, director of a movie has everything planned that, okay, this is how it's gonna roll out. But the actors on the stage somehow decide, no, I will not play as per the script. I will do something different. Now the director is confused. I wanted this to happen, but what's happening is something different. That is what we call free will. You may deviate. So universe, like what does the film director say? Cut. Actors, hey, you are deviating, come back to the script. What does universe do? Universe cannot come and say, stop, guys, what are you doing? No, what universe do is put some roadblock in your life to make you realize you are deviating. If the deviation is small, roadblock will be small. If we are aware of these topics, we may be able to understand, this seems like a message from the universe. But when we are not, we have no idea what soul plan, purpose of life, what spirituality means. I have not come into meditation and all those things. Then what happens? Unaware, we do certain things. It's just because you are unaware. Because you don't know what you don't know, you take certain actions. And then the universe is like, wait a minute, I've given this person two indications, not listening. So I have to I have to give a bigger roadblock. If you understand, fine. If not, the level of roadblock keep increasing to a point where it becomes a critical, all kind of situations in life where you have to slow down or you have to stop. You can be bedridden or whatever situation, and then it makes you think. That's why you may have seen that so many people come into this topic only when they are really sick, going through some heavy financial issues, heavy relationship issues, means big trouble. And when you are in pain, it's not easy to deal with it. Ideally, if you know beforehand, it's much easier. But when there is no issue in life, we think, why should I do all those things? Whatever I'm doing is perfect. And we ignore. And when life is in trouble, then we get, in this hurricane. And then when we are going in all direction without any control, we knock every door. We go to the religious places, we go to religious people, we go to all kind of, you know, internet nowadays, of course, whatnot. Or latest is ChatGPT. Hey, tell me what to do. So one thing which very simply can answer your status where you are. You don't need to go to a doctor. You don't need to go to anyone. Rewind your last 24 hours and check when you were happy, because of what? When you were sad, because of what? If it was an event or a person external to you, oh, I was happy because my friend did this, or I was happy because I won a lottery, or XYZ. It is external to you. I am sad because, my friends said such and such thing about me, or, my neighbor, my colleague said this to me. How dare, you know, he or she or whatever, my boss, it is external to you. So if any happiness or sadness is coming from outside, we have work to do. We have work to do until it comes from inside. That means I am responsible for my happiness. I am responsible for my sadness. Until I come to that stage, keep working. Is there a switch in my body or somewhere that I can, change over? No, it's your thought. It's our thought process. It is who we are. And that's why we talk about meditation, we talked about pranayam, we talk about yoga, anything or combination of these or all three, whatever works for you, follow it. Of course, knowledge is important, and more than knowledge is the implementation. There are many, many people I've come across, they know pretty much any topic you touch. They will say, yeah, 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 I know this. And yet they are there asking for help, asking that so many problem in life. Theory they know, implementation not there. So if continuing on the topic of abandonment, say um, from a childhood memory, right? Uh, you feel your mother, just a theoretical example, that you feel your mother abandoned you because of whatever reason. There are all kind of different reasons within this topic. In one case, mother may have abandoned because, she was taking care of the household. Mother has to work, mother goes out to work, then obviously child feel I'm abandoned. Mother may be not well, sick, and that's why I couldn't take care of the child, or hundreds or thousands of different scenarios you can think of. Point is, if the child is thinking that, okay, my mother abandoned me means I didn't get enough care, I didn't get enough love, affection, then to overcome means the opposite of that. You say, okay, the opposite will become that let me get attached to my kids. By attaching to your kids, you are trying to provide what you missed. Whatever you thought you did not get from your parents, now you are trying to provide to your kids. In a way, you are balancing the karma. What is balancing of karma quickly? You have to experience both abundance, lack. You have to experience, say, lack of health, or, abundance of health means you're healthy, enjoying your health, whatnot. In this case, you experienced what it feels like not getting care, and now you're experiencing what it feels to give care. It could be in the same lifetime, it could be different lifetime, both are possible. Now, when you are kind of providing your kids what you did not get, love, affection, whatever, one thing super critical is do not have negative feeling about your mother. Your mother, that's why we talk about soul plan first. Your mother did whatever you requested her to do as a soul. Means the soul of your mother, your soul, they had a contract, they had a soul plan, purpose of life, that, okay, this soul has requested this soul, you behave this, or do this to me because I want to experience or learn this. So you cannot have any kind of grudge, you cannot have any kind of negativity against that person or a soul. Then you miss the point. That is as per your request. In fact, you should be thankful. You, because if you have negativity, you have to first work on the forgiveness. Because how do you come to that level? Once you have come to a level where you understand all these topics, then yes, you'll be able to quickly overcome and have no negativity against that person. Otherwise, we don't see it as a soul, we just see it as a person and we have negativity. So super important here is learn forgiveness, what it is, how to do, and all those things. And when you are able to, in this example, provide your child something that you did not get without negativity, without, any kind of ill feeling, then you are balancing the karma. Otherwise, you are not balancing, you are in fact generating new karmas. So that is very important. Now, once you complete the forgiveness, right? You are ready to move forward. But what will help you to forgive is one big factor, uh, empathy. Empathy is, also kind of wrapped around compassion and, uh, s- kind of getting into that, okay, how, what, and all those things. So empathy is different from sympathy. Remember that. Sympathy is more of a feeling of, pity sometimes. I mean, it's not, but towards that side. And you feel that, oh, I have sympathy for you. You are going through such trouble. It's more of a little bit of, pity, that I feel pity, that kind of thing. Empathy is the ability to understand how someone feels. Okay. Sympathy is like, oh, I feel your pain and I'm happy that I don't have that pain. So there is a difference between empathy and sympathy. It's just a kind of word, but we have to understand, because you don't want to have just sympathy. You want to have empathy. You may have or may not have experienced that situation, but you say, hey, I know what it means, man, and I'm with you, but not just with a bit of pity feeling and having sympathy. So more towards empathy side. So now you are able to forgive, in this example, your mother. Now you understand that, okay, soul plan, purpose of life, what is happening or not happening. You understand suffering is for the physical body. For the soul, it is just an experience. You are doing whatever you are doing. You can decode, you understand that, yes, I have this feeling of abandonment. I am overcoming by this, and I'm, completing my both side of the karmas. Fine. Important here is, again, you rewind your memory, you go back your early childhood and understand. Try to see what has happened. What were your thoughts, your feelings, and all? What kind of, nature, or, when we say we were developing our personality, what was happening around? Were you stubborn? What kind of thoughts? Sometimes people say, oh, yeah, you were a very angry child, or you were, especially you talk to parents, or, someone of from that generation, and you will know, yeah, yeah, they will say, yes, in the childhood, you used to do this, you used to do that. So you have to see what is happening, analyze your childhood, analyze now that what you're dealing with your child, what is happening. Remember about empathy and sympathy part. Were you able to communicate? Were you able to express? Were you able to, you know, handle your emotions properly? Many times we just hold it, and that becomes an issue. Especially when you're younger, it may be more of an issue. And now all these things impacts you in the future, because you're not able to surrender. Why? Because of all this, whether you call baggage, whether you call soul plan, things goes in that order. One thing comes, when you have some situation in your life, your child, your parents, or whatever, the first thing, arises that, oh, it must be my sins. I'm getting punished. So God never punishes us. God means universe. It is always for learning. It is always for helping the soul. Physical body may go through different emotions, which based on the physical body, we say good or bad. But for soul, there is no good, no bad, just experience of emotion. It's our wish. In my case, my soul plan, I planned it. So how can anyone else be blamed for it? In this lifetime, I have certain people, key people, who are interacting, who are touching my life. The closer they are, the more impact they have, like my parents, my spouse, my siblings, neighbors comes next, colleagues comes next, boss comes next, and then you have different layers or rings, you can say. The closer a person is in your life, the more impact the person may have. So it's a mutual soul plan. Your soul and that soul has agreed that, okay, at this time we will do this and all those things. If we understand all this, then it is easier to surrender. Otherwise, we become, if I may say, slave to the first three chakras. Oh, he said this to me, I will do this. Your ego, hatred, jealousy, fear, all these low level emotions control our life. They will not let you forgive someone. They will not let you surrender because these emotions overpower. For surrender, you have to come at least to the heart chakra, at least to the fourth chakra and up. Then only you will be able to surrender. And when we are able to do this, masters, your life really transforms, really gets into a very blissful state. Step by step, but it will take you to really next level. So next week, we will continue this topic. We will see some technical papers. We will see what exactly and how. Is it just theory, or is there been some research into this? So we will get into that next week. But before we get into that, if there is any question or sharing that you may want to have, please